wrap up this one here between the Kelowna Christian Knights and the Fernie Falcons. It's the Knights capturing third place here today. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, it will be the 3A group that you will witness here at 10 a.m. It will be between Vernon and Sir Charles Tupper for the third place game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Langley Event Center. We're in the main arena bowl, and it's a third place matchup here in the 3A group between the Vernon Panthers and the Sir Charles Tupper Tigers. Just getting ready to tip off here as we get the starting lineups here announced for Sir Charles Tupper. So your starting lineup: DJ Laconce starting as forward. And then we've got Kieran Sheraton as one of the guards here. Luke Tobias at center, Reese Meister at forward, and finally Matthew Dunkerley will be the other center here, starting for the Tigers. As for the Vernon Panthers, it will be Zach Smith playing as the guard, Liam Reed up front. We'll have Trent Charlton, Isaiah Ondrik, and Kevin Morgan. The coaches for the Vernon Panthers will be head coach Malcolm Reed, with assistant coaches Sean Smith and Bob Corbett, and manager Rowan Reed. As for Sir Charles Tupper Tigers, we got head coach Jeff Gorley with associate coach Patrick Kamal and assistant coach Daniel Kim. The manager for the Tigers, Vaughn Vargas, Matisse Lotri, and Antonin LaCuesta. As we're now set to get things underway here in the third place matchup. It's the Tigers wearing the whites today, and we got the Panthers in the dark navy blue uniforms as we get underway. It's Panthers with possession, and there's an early 3 attempt there by Ondrik, doesn't go, and the ball's taken over here by number 11, Reese Meister. Meister for the 3 doesn't go, and the rebound is picked up there by Kieran Sheraton. Down low, there's Luke Tobias losing the ball down low, and the ball gets deflected out of play. DJ LeConce will restart play here. Number 17 here, Matthew Dunkerley, drops it off. Meister tries to get the jumper there, can't get it to go, and the rebound is now picked up by the Panthers as they come back the other way. It's Ondrik trying to cut inside, finds his teammate there. It's Zach Smith, and the ball's stolen there. Well done there by the Tigers. It's Luke Tobias coming back the other way. Tobias finds Sheraton. Sheraton here on the far side. It's LeConce, tries to cut down low, and it's Dunkerley for the 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound was picked up there by the Panthers. It was Morgan who appeared to be called for the foul, and it will be the Tigers taking over here for the possession. And we've got Sheraton up top here. It's Meister, nice spin move there to cut inside, goes for the layup, good. Nice play there by Reese Meister to work the ball down low, and it's an early lead here for the Tigers. As it's the Panthers now with the ball, but misplayed there by Trent Charlton of the Panthers as the ball gets deflected out of play, and it's the Tigers taking over here. Reese Meister will work the ball out, and it's now a 3-point try here from Tobias, and that's good. Good start here for Sir Charles Tupper as they jump out here to an early 4-0 lead. Zach Smith over the Liam Reed. Reed gets it to Ondrik on the near side. Ondrik cuts inside. Nice spin move there. Goes in for the fadeaway jumper, and that's good. Nice little play there. Isaiah Ondrik gets his team on the board here with 7:40 to go in the first quarter. And it's now the Tigers coming back the other way. Reese Meister up top, trying to look for an opportunity to shoot, but does well to cut inside for the lay-in, and it's good. Reese Meister doing well there. Zach Smith having problems here, gives it away to DJ LeConce, and LeConce makes him pay for it. Good anticipation there by LeConce to take the ball away, as it's now the Panthers coming back the other way. Kevin Morgan dumps it off to Charlton, who tries to cut it inside. Can't get it to go, and the rebound is picked up there by Sheraton, and it's LeConce getting the lay-in. Great start here for the Tigers as they jump out to a 10-2 lead here early. Timeout called by the Vernon Panthers. You are watching the 3A group. It's the third place matchup between Vernon and Sir Charles Tupper. I will step away here just for a few moments, and we'll come right back to resume with the first quarter. Welcome back to the Langley Event Center as we resume the first quarter play. It's the Tigers living up to a 10-2 lead here, led by the likes of Leconce and Sheraton and Tobias with a three-pointer as well, as the Panthers look to regroup here. And the basket will not count for the Panthers as they're called for the offensive foul, and it will be the Tigers taking over possession. The Tigers were coming off a defeat from yesterday's game against Dutchess Park, as they came away with a tough loss yesterday. But they were led by DJ Leconce, who had 16 points in that game, and Luke Tobias with 15 points, as Matthew Dunkerley gets a basket there for the Tigers. The Vernon Panthers, meanwhile, are coming off a loss from GW Graham. It was a close one in yesterday's game. It was a 50-49 loss. Isaiah Ondrik was a standout in that one, putting up 20 points for the Panthers. As we have another turnover here by the Panthers, but good anticipation there. Derek Lee with the steal there, doing well to get his team back in it. And it's the Tigers coming back the other way. That was Dunkerley trying to make a play, couldn't get it to go, and now we have some back and forth action as the Panthers can get their shot to go now. And here's a three-point try. That was from Reese Meister, but he couldn't get it to go. And here comes Bradford Benny. Benny Bradford couldn't get that one to go, but we've got a foul called here. So it'll be and it appears that it will be Kevin Morgan stepping up to the line for two. Gets his first. Two for two there for Kevin Morgan, as the Tigers now come back the other way. It's Matthew Dunkerley. Down low here, it's Tobias. Tried to cut in for the layup, but he was rejected there. Good defensive play there by Morgan, but the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a reset here by Leconce. Leconce tried to get it up top to Sheridan, but it was deflected out. Zach Smith right there. Dunkerley gets it to Derek Lay. And there's a good effort there. Well played there by Kieran Sheraton to get the lay-in. And it's now the Panthers coming back the other way. Charlton dumps it off to Smith up top. Smith tries to beat his man. That's Sheraton. Morgan down low, tries to work on his man. That was on Derek Lay, and Morgan does well to lay it in, and the Panthers have now cut their deficit. There's 4:30 to go here in the first quarter. As Derek Lay tries to cut inside, can't do it, gets it up top. Sheraton to Dunkerley. Dunkerley tries to work the ball inside, dumps it off to Tobias. Tobias gets it back to Dunkerley. Dunkerley tries to get in there for a layup, doesn't go. It's Ondrik being called for the foul, and it will be Dunkerley stepping up to the line for two. Jimmy Atwell now subbing in for the Vernon Panthers. First shot is good for Dunkerley, and so is the second one as he goes 2 for 2 at the line. Isaiah Ondrik gets it over to Atwell. Atwell up top. And there's a attempt there by Smith, doesn't go. And the rebound's picked up now by the Tigers as they work the ball out. Sheraton with a nice outlet pass to Lay. Lay outside. Here's a three-point attempt. That was Liam Stanley coming into the game, and he couldn't get it to go. As it's now Zach Smith gets it inside to Isaiah Ondrik. Ondrik trying to work the ball inside. Misplayed it, tried to find Atwell, but the ball goes out of play. And it will be Tigers ball. Liam Stanley coming into the game. Here's Sheraton, down low. As the work gets worked inside by Derek Lay, but he turns it over to the Panthers. And it's Isaiah Ondrik on Lay. Tries to find a teammate there and does well there to find Morgan. Here's Jimmy Atwell on the near side. Atwell thought about shooting it, but gets it to Charlton instead. Down low. Kevin Morgan with 2 attempts there, but he was stopped there by the Tigers defenders. Tigers playing some good defense there to make the stop, and it's, as they come back the other way, it's Tobias. Tobias with the jumper, can't get it to go. Tobias gets his own rebound though, and he lays it in. Luke Tobias does well to follow up on his own rebound. And it's a 10-point lead now here for the Tigers. As it's Zach Smith, gives it to Atwell. Atwell gets it inside to Ondrik. Ondrik will try the jumper from the 3-point line. Can get it to knock down. Rebound picked up there by Dunkerley, as it's now Sheraton. Over to Tobias, down low. It's Stanley. Stanley, Atwell on him. Gets it to Dunkerley. Dunkerley inside. Outside to Lay. Lay gets it down low. It's Tobias here with the jumper. Jumper is over the top of the hoop. Doesn't go, but Stanley picks it up. He can't get it to go. Stanley again with his own jumper. And a bit of a scrambly play there, but the Tigers couldn't capitalize on their opportunities. And it's the Panthers here down low. That was Charlton. Gets it up top to Atwell. Atwell will try for the 3. Can't get it to go. And the ball is knocked down by Lay, and Lay will get it to Stanley. Oh, sorry, to Luke Tobias. And it's Tobias to Kieran Sheraton. The ball is out of bounds, and it will be Panthers ball. As we get set for a reset, it'll be Zach Smith starting out, already pressured there by the Tigers. As it's a high press there by Noah Bassis. And Sergeant Clare coming out of the game gets his first points to get his team within 8. Reese Meister coming back into the game now. It's Derek Lai though with the jumper. Derek Lay regains the 10-point lead for his team with 49 seconds to go in the first quarter. Good pressure here though by Liam Stanley of the Tigers. Here's Atwell. And here's a try here by Sheraton for 3. Doesn't go. Rebound picked up by the Tigers. That's Reese Meister. Meister tries to calm things down here with 20 seconds to go. Cuts inside. Well done here by Meister to get in for the layup, but it doesn't go. It just rattled out of the hoop there. And it's coming back the other way. It's the Panthers. It was Isaiah Ondrik trying to go for the buzzer beater. It doesn't go. It's a 20-10 lead here for Sir Charles Tupper as they look to capture the 3rd place position here in the 3A tournament. It's the end of the first quarter, and we'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and then we'll get underway here with the second. Welcome back to Langley Event Center. It's the BC High School Boys Basketball Championship. It is a 3A division here, and we're in the third place game here between Vernon and Sir Charles Tupper. It's the Tigers getting out to a good early start with a 20-10 lead. And we'll see if the Panthers can bounce back here in the second quarter, as Tigers will start possession here in the second quarter. It was Liam Stanley there up top, and Lay was struggling with possession there. Sorry, that was Noah Bassis. And now it comes back up top to Stanley. Now comes to Bassis. Bassis thought about shooting it, gets it to Stanley. Back to Noah Bassis. Bassis with a shot there, doesn't go. And coming back the other way is Kevin Morgan. And there's a three-point try there by Sergeant Clare, but it doesn't go. And it looks like we have a foul called here on the Tigers, and Vernon will keep possession. Restart play. There's a quick little play there. That was Morgan trying to go for the quick lay and didn't go. Liam Reed with a try. That didn't go, and we've got another foul here, and it looks like it will be Isaiah Ondrik stepping up to the line for two. Ondrik will try and go 1 for 2 here, and he does. Tigers working the ball around. Up top, it's going to be Bassis trying for the three-pointer. It doesn't go, but he tries to get his own rebound, but it's knocked away by Clare. And the ball comes to Liam Reed, who works the ball out. Reed gave it away, though, to Noah Bassis of the Tigers as they work the ball up court. Ball is worked down low here. Here's Meister. Meister gave the ball away to the Panthers. That's Ondrik doing a good job here intercepting the ball. Down low here, and a foul call here. It looks like on Reed, and it is an offensive foul. So Tigers will take over possession. As we restart play after the Tiger substitutions, is DJ Leconce coming back into the game, along with Luke Tobias. Tobias with the ball now. Back to Leconce. DJ Leconce steps away, tries for the three, air ball, and it's done well there to be kept in, but it's taken over by Morgan, who works the play to Smith. Smith to Clare. Back outside to Reed. Reed will try for the three, doesn't go, and the rebound is picked up now by the Tigers. It's Meister coming up with the rebound as he works the ball down low into the zone here, and it's a jumper there by Tobias, makes it count. As the Tigers doing well there on the counter attack after making a nice defensive play. And the ball's now worked down low there by Reed, and the ball deflects out of play. It's Liam Reed with the ball that goes far over Zach Smith, and the Panthers are called for over and back. And Tigers will take possession once again. Meister to Leconce. Leconce over to Tobias. Tobias down low. Here's Meister for the three. Can't get it to go, and the rebound is now picked up. That was Tinker picking it up for the Panthers, and Morgan tried to cut inside, can't get it to go. And the rebound is now picked up there by Dunkerley. Does well to get it over to Tobias. Tobias now cutting down. Tobias faked a pass to Leconce. Now tries for the three. Can't get it to go, but the rebound comes to Smith. And Smith will pick it up for the Panthers, coming back the other way. Smith and Claire play catch. Smith now gets it over to Morgan. Morgan cuts inside. Now gets it to Sergeant Claire. Sergeant Claire tried to go for the three, but he couldn't get it to go. Morgan picks up the rebound, and he's fouled. Foul appears to be by Tobias on Morgan, so it will be Morgan stepping to the line for two. It's Justin Tuazon coming into the game. Reese Meister will sub out, but we have a timeout called here by appears to be the Panthers, so we'll cut away here for just a few moments. We'll come right back. It's the Sir Charles Tupper Tigers leading the Vernon Panthers by a score of 22-11. Welcome back to Langley Event Center as we just get set here to resume play here in the second quarter with 6:36 to go. It's actually the Vernon Panthers trailing the Tigers by a score of 22-11. As we get set to restart play, it'll be Morgan shooting for two. Can't get it to go on the first try. It is a 3A group, and the winner of this game will capture third place. As the Tigers take over. It's Tobias trying to work the ball down low, gets it back up top. Here's Leconce, cuts the ball inside, does well, lays it in. Well done there by DJ Leconce to work the ball down low, lays it in, and he's extended his team's lead to 12 points. As it's the Panthers now coming back the other way. It was Tinker now getting over to Morgan. Morgan cuts inside, tries to fight off his man, gets it to Ondrik. Ondrik to the near side. There's a three-point try. Nathan Tinker drilling the three to cut the lead now to 9 points. As it's the Tigers now coming back the other way. That's Dunkerley. Inside, cuts it back outside to Leconce. Leconce drains the three. Does well to respond there for the Tigers. Up top, we have Tinker. Over to Claire, down low. And there's another three-point try. This time coming from Ondrik, but it doesn't go. But the ball comes back up top. The Tinker to Ondrik. Claire, good ball movement here as Smith tries for three. Can't knock it down. And the rebound is picked up there by Justin Tuazon. Works it over to Leconce. Back to Tuazon. Tobias. Does well to get it to Bradford. Bradford back up top to Leconce. Leconce will try for three. Can't get it to go. Dunkerley was there for the rebound, but he couldn't get it to go either. And the Panthers are now coming back here on transition. It's Tinker. Tried to lay it in. Can't get it to go. Rebound is picked up there by Smith. Up high now. It's Ondrik down low. Back to Ondrik. Here's Claire for three. And it rattles out. Doesn't go. And the rebound is now picked up by the Tigers. As it's Leconce finds Tuazon. Tuazon back up top. It was Tobias cutting it in. And Tobias does well to drain that one. It's Ondrik. Tried to cut inside, but wasn't able to there. Gets it to Tinker on the far side there. Up top, it's Claire. Back to Smith. Smith tries to attack the middle. Closed down there well by Tuazon. Cuts it inside to Smith, to Morgan. And here's a three-point attempt coming from Ondrik, but it doesn't go. And we have Tuazon now coming back for the Tigers. Gets it to Tobias. Tobias then gets it to Leconce inside for Bradford. Bradford, nice pass over there for Tuazon. Tuazon tried for a three, it didn't go. And we have another turnover here by the Panthers after Morgan did a great job of keeping the play in play. And it was Tuazon trying to cut the ball inside, but they're called for a foul, and it'll be a turnover here as the Panthers retake possession. With 3:07 to go here in the second quarter, it's Sir Charles Tupper leading Vernon 29-15. Zach Smith coming back the other way. Finds Nathan Tinker. And it appears an offensive foul is being called just as Trent Charlton let go of his shot. Liam Reed being called for the offensive foul, and it will be the Tigers taking possession now. Here's Derek Lay coming back into the game, moves over to Sheraton. Sheridan inside for Dunkerley. Dunkerley tries to work the ball in, cuts it outside. Here's Tuazon for three, and it's good. Justin Tuazon drains a three. Extends the lead for the Tigers to a 17-point cushion right now. As the ball is worked inside. And Isaiah Ondrik with the lay-in. With a good response there for the Panthers. As the ball is worked to the near side. It was Stanley. Now back inside is Dunkerley. Dunkerley trying to work on Ondrik there. Does well to dump it off. And it was Derek Lee coming in, following up, and gets the basket for the Tigers. As we're down to under 2 minutes to go here now in the second quarter. It's Tinkerley now. Down low. Liam Reed. And here's a three-point try now coming from Tinker. Another three-pointer for Nathan Tinker. We're down to a minute and a half here now, and good response here by the Vernon Panthers trying to cut into the lead. But it's Dunkerley now with the ball for the Tigers. Derek Lee now for the three-pointer. Doesn't go. Dunkerley does well to get the rebound. Gets it back up top. There's Stanley there making a play, but it doesn't go, and the ball's knocked out of play. It's a turnover, and the Panthers now taking over possession. Zach Smith. Works the ball over to Ondrik. Looking for an open man here. Charleston trying to get open. He does. Charleston works the ball down low to Tinker. And it looks like Tinker stepped out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover here once again. With the 14-play deficit right now, the Vernon Panthers can't afford to make these sloppy plays right now with the ball going out of bounds there, and it's now the Tigers coming back the other way. It's Derek Lee trying to make the shot count, unable to. Now it's the Panthers coming back the other way, but it's stolen back. Well done there by Sheraton to take the ball back for the Tigers. Gets it over down to Stanley. Stanley works the ball up top over to Derek Lee. Lee over to Sheraton down low. Here's Tuazon. Works the ball over nicely to Lee. Back up top. Stanley down low to Dunkerley. Dunkerley trying to work the ball over to Lee, and he does. Lee back to Dunkerley. Dunkerley working on Ondrik, and good defensive play there by the Panthers. And the buzzer went a little bit early here. as the play was blown dead there. It looks like because of the buzzer went early, and they're trying to sort out the game clock. Right now it reads 1.6 seconds, but I think they're going to try and add on a few more seconds, and there it is. So we've got 3.2 seconds to go here in the second quarter. It will be the Tigers regaining possession here for the last few seconds. They'll try to get a long shot here away. It will be Dunkerley. No, it will be Derek Lee. They can't get a shot away in time, and the half comes to an end. And it's Sir Charles Tupper Tigers leading the Vernon Panthers 34-20 in this third place matchup. The winner of this game will capture third place. Loser obviously will drop down to fourth. And we will take a quick break here. It will be an 8-minute break, so we will check back in a few minutes to start off the third quarter. And we'll see if the Vernon Panthers can work their way back into this game. We'll be back in a few minutes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Langley Event Center. It is the BC High School Boys Basketball Championships. It's the third place match in this 3A division between Sir Charles Tupper and the Vernon Panthers. It's the Tigers leading the Panthers by a score of 34-20 as we're about 30 seconds away from tip-off for the second half. For the Tigers, it was DJ Leconce leading the way with 9 points. He was 4 for 6 from the field goals today, and Luke Tobias going 4 for 7 today as well, with a total of 8 points for the Tigers. And for the Panthers, it was Nathan Tinker. Obviously, we saw him drain those 2 3-pointers. Led his team with 6 points during that half. It was Kevin Morgan who was capped off the half with 5 points, and Trent Charlton as well with 5 as we get underway here in the second half of this third place matchup in the 3A division. It's Panthers with the ball starting off here, and it's Tinker cutting inside off a play from Liam Reed as they get the first points of the half. And we'll see if they can try to cut into the lead here now with a 12-point deficit. Tobias cutting in there, lost the ball to the Panthers, and now it's Tinker coming back the other way. Nathan Tinker tried to cut inside, does well with the layup. What a play by Tinker. Right off the hop, he's off to a hot start in the second half, and it's a 10-point deficit now for Vernon. Tobias up top to Sheraton, works the ball over to Meister. Reese Meister is a screen set up there by Dinkerly. Stanley inside, spins away. Here's Reese Meister, and it appears we have an offensive foul here called on the Tigers, and it will be a turnover again as the Panthers take over. And it's Ondrik who will get it over to Smith. It's Sheridan on him, and nice play there. Cross to Charlton. Now it's Ondrik with a 3-point attempt. No good. As it's Sheraton coming back the other way for the Tigers. Sheraton cuts down the baseline. Tries to... Nice outswing pass there. Up top, it's Leconce. Leconce tries to draw inside. And that was Meister now dropping it down low to Dinkerly. Dinkerly tries to fight his man. That's Liam Reed right on him. Sheraton gets it back now. Sheraton works the ball up top. And Meister tries to cut down low. He's stopped there by Smith, and now it's turned over. And it's the Panthers coming away with the ball. It's Ondrik. Ondrik tries to fight his man, tries to get in for the jumper. Can't get it to go. And it's now the Tigers coming back the other way. Leconce. Screen set up there by Dinkerly. Now Dinkerly gets it back. Dinkerly to Meister. Back to Dinkerly. And here's a jumper. It was Tobias who can't get it to go. Rebound came to Smith, but he lost it. Now it's Dinkerly back up top. Up top to here, Tobias. And now down low, it's Leconce. Leconce down low, tries to lay it in, can't get it to go. And the rebound is now picked up there by Charlton. And here's a play down low to Tinker. Tinker now works the ball up top. He gets it across there back to Charlton. Charlton down low. There's a jumper try from Ondrik. Can't get it to go. Rebound picked up there by Tobias. And it'll be Sheraton coming away. Sheraton does well to cut inside, and we got a pushing foul here called on the Panthers. As we see Reese Meister come out of the game, at least for the time being, as Derek Lee draws right back in. It'll be Sheraton, whose pass is intercepted by Zach Smith. He did well there to intercept the pass, now cuts it in for the lay-in, but he can't get it to go. And coming back the other way is DJ Leconce. Leconce now tries to cut in, comes back to the baseline here, works it up top to Lee. Lee over to Tobias. Tobias is fouled, and he will step up to the line for 2, as that was Liam Reed who reached in for the foul. Sorry, that was Trent Charlton of the Panthers getting the foul. But it will be Luke Tobias here, shooting for 2. Can't knock down the first one, as it's still a 10-point lead for the Tigers here with 6:30 to go in the third quarter. As he makes the second one, and it's an 11-point lead now for the Tigers. And there's Ondrik to Charlton. Charlton will try for 3, and it's good. Trent Charlton for 3, a huge one at that as they cut into the lead. And it's now Sheraton coming back the other way. Sheraton thought about getting it to Leconce, and now gets it down low to Dinkerley. Dinkerley tried to get it to go, but he just hit the rim and came out, and now it's Nathan Tinker coming back the other way. And there was a pass intended for Trent Charlton, goes out of bounds. The Tigers making a quick substitution here. It's Benny Bradford coming into the game now. And it'll be Dinkerley stepping out for the time being, as there's an attempt there by Zach Smith, no good. And it's the Tigers now coming away here on transition. Leconce down low, it's Lee. Lee across to Tobias. Tobias cuts inside now. A nice pass there to Sheraton. Sheraton cuts inside over to Tobias, and Tobias nicely lays it in there with a nice setup there from Sheraton. As they cut the lead to 10. It's Smith, and now up top. He's watched there by Leconce. As there's a 3-point try by Charlton, and he counters right back. Trent Charlton with another 3-pointer here to give his team the 10-point lead back, and now the play is blown dead. As there was a foul called on the Panthers here, and we've got a quick substitution. And restarting play here will be Liam Stanley as he gets the ball to Lee. Lee over to Sheraton. Sheraton back to Lee. Lee tries to go in there for the jumper, no good. And the rebound will come to Ondrik. As Ondrik works the ball out, he's watched by Sheraton though. See screen set up there by Charlton. And the basket is good, plus the 1. And Ondrik will have an opportunity here to complete the 3-point play. We've got a sub here for the Panthers. It's Morgan coming on, and it will be Reed coming off. And the 3-point play is good for Ondrik. So with 4:52 to go now in the third quarter, it's only a 4-point lead for the Tigers. Sheraton works the ball up to Lee. Back to Sheraton. There's some good ball movement here, as the ball was taken away from Tobias, but now it's a 3-point try for Sheraton, and it's good. Kieran Sheraton with a huge 3-pointer there to extend the lead again. It's 40-33 for the Tigers here, as Nathan Tinker picks it up. The pass is deflected there, and it's picked up again here by Tobias. Tobias doing well here defensively to pick the ball off. And he'll try here for the 3-pointer, and it's good. Phenomenal play there by Luke Tobias to not only steal the ball, but to drain the 3. And there'll be a timeout call here by the Panthers here with about 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And some good back and forth action here between both teams, but it is a 9-point lead here for the Tigers, as the Vernon Panthers have been able to narrow the gap a little bit, but we'll see if they can, at the very least, maybe get it to within 2 or 3 points before this quarter wraps up. We saw Of course, Nathan Tinker come out strong in the third quarter, made back-to-back baskets, well, one of those being a three-pointer, so Tinker obviously stepping up here in a big way for the Panthers. But we're seeing guys like Sheraton and Tobias and LeConte step up for the Tigers as well. And it's gonna be a fun finish here from the looks of it. As both teams get set, we're ready to restart here with 4:05 to go in the third quarter. It will be the Panthers with possession, as it's Ondrik who will start out. Ondrik cuts in there, working on Sheraton here, cuts inside, tries to go for the jumper, no good, and the rebound is picked up here by the Tigers. An offensive foul called on the Panthers, so it will be Tigers ball, and Liam Stanley will start things off to Lee. Kieran Sheraton now. Sheraton over to Tobias. Tobias, the screen set up there by Bradford. Sheraton cuts down the baseline. Nice outswing pass there to Tobias. And while Tobias was taking the jumper there, he was fouled from the looks of it. So Luke Tobias will now step up to the line for two. First one just gets it to go there. They'll try and make it 2 for 2. And he does. So it's now a 13-point lead for the Tigers as the Panthers regain possession here. It's Tinker working inside on Lee, and referee blows the play dead, and Derek Lee is being assessed with the foul, so clock shot will be set to 19 here again, and it will be Ondrik here now restarting play. Ondrik over to Zach Smith. Smith being worked on there by Sheraton to Charlton. Charlton now being worked on by Lee. And Lee is being called for another foul from the looks of it. And as we have a substitution here for the Tigers, it's Dunkerley, Bradford, and Tuazon coming back into the game. As it's Smith down low to Morgan, but Morgan can't get a hold of it, and the ball's turned over. Good defensive play here by the Tigers as Tuazon gets it to LeConte. LeConte going for the three, can't get it to go. And the rebound is now picked up by Morgan for the Panthers as he works the ball down. And there's a three-point try by Charlton, no good, and the rebound is now deflected out of play. And it will be Panthers ball. No, it'll be Tigers ball here as the Tigers regain possession. Jimmy Atwell is now subbing into the game with Nathan Tinker now subbing off for the Panthers. It's now LeConte starting play to Justin Tuazon. Tuazon up top, gets it over to Stanley. Stanley back to Tuazon, now to LeConte. Shot clock down to 2 seconds. LeConte works the ball inside, can't get it to go. As the Panthers will now regain possession with 2:22 to go here, and the third quarter is a 11-point lead here for the Tigers, 44-33. And it's Smith here for the Panthers. Atwell down low. Given away, though, it's Justin Tuazon now getting it to LeConte. LeConte now works the ball. Being watched there by Charlton. Down low to Dunkerley. Dunkerley tried to get it to Stanley, but it's given away. And here's Ondrik for the Panthers. Screen set up there by Morgan. Now Morgan gets it down low. He's being worked on by 2 defenders there, and the ball's deflected out of play. And it will be Panthers ball. With 1:44 to go now here in the third quarter. Ondrik gets it over to Charlton. Up top, down low now. And it's a 3-point try by Ondrik. He can't knock it down. Rebound is now picked up again by Leconce. To Tuazon. Tuazon now works the ball high. Gets it to Stanley. Stanley over to Leconce. Leconce tries to work the ball down low to Sheraton. Sheraton's being watched there by Atwall. And he does well there to dump it off to Leconce, and the foul is called just as Leconce was going in for the layup. So DJ Leconce will be now shooting for 2. So DJ Leconce was unable to get down the second one, but goes 1 for 2 there at the line. Was able to extend the lead to 12 points for his team, as it's 45-33 for Sir Charles Tupper, as it was Kevin Morgan getting the ball inside. He was fouled as he was going in to lay it in. So now he will step up to the line for 2 with 1:05 to go here in the third quarter. As we have a substitution here now coming for the Tigers. It is Matthew Dunkerley subbing off. And it will be Liam Stanley, it will be Luke Tobias coming back into the game as Morgan drains his first of 2 free throws. And 2 for 2 there for Morgan. As it's Reese Meister. Meister gets it over to Tobias. Tobias is fouled, or appeared to be fouled, as the ball went out of bounds. And it looks like they're giving the ball back to the Tigers, so no foul here being called on Morgan. It will be Leconce now restarting play, gets it to Tobias. Now up top to Stanley. Down low to Leconce. It's Tobias setting up a screen. And DJ Leconce for 3, and it's good! Leconce has been fabulous here for the Tigers in the second half, as he gets another 3-pointer there to extend the lead to 13 for the Tigers. As the ball there is deflected out of play. Well done there by Tobias to deflect the ball out of play. But it will be the Panthers regaining possession with 19 seconds to go here on the shot clock. 30 to go in the third quarter here, as it's Ondrik. Screen set up there by Reed. And it's Isaiah Ondrik draining the 3 with 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. That was a huge 3-pointer to keep the Panthers within 10 here. As it's now Leconce up top. Being watched there nicely by Charlton. As he attempted a 3-pointer, there was Leconce. But it was Justin Tuazon picking up the rebound just before the buzzer goes. And with the third quarter coming to an end, it is a 50-38 lead for Sir Charles Tupper over the Vernon Panthers. And we've got one more quarter coming up here for you, as it's the 3A High School Boys Basketball Championships. It is a third-place team game, so whoever wins here will capture third place. And we will have the final coming up for you guys here later tonight for the 3A division. And the matchup is set for that one, as I believe the matchup will be here set up for tonight. It will be a 6 p.m. start here in the Arena Bowl of the Langley Event Center, and it'll be between G.W. Graham and Duchess Park. And we will have that game for you tonight at 6 p.m. as both teams will be looking to reset here to begin the fourth quarter. And it looks like it will be the Tigers to start the quarter. It will be Liam Stanley here to start things off. Leconce. Reese Meister. Here's Tobias now. Tobias momentarily lost it, but gets it right back. Being watched there by Morgan up high. It's Reese Meister, nice spin move. And gets the jumper to go. Nice play there by Reese Meister to work on his man. Nice spin move. And comes away with the jumper there to now extend the lead to 14 points for the Tigers. And it's Ondrik here. Gets it to Claire. And now up top, it's Morgan. Down low, it's a three-point try for Liam Reed. Doesn't go. And Leconce once again coming away with the rebound. As it's down low here for Liam Stanley, and he gets it to go. Liam Stanley with a nice play there to continue to build on this lead for the Tigers. And now it's Charlton. Ondrik with a three-point try, and it's good. Good response there by Isaiah Ondrik for the Panthers as he drains a three. But coming right back, it's DJ Leconce up top. It's going to be Reese Meister. And here's a three-point try by Stanley. Rattles out, and coming away with the rebound here is Ondrik. Ondrik tries to get it to Claire, but the ball gets knocked out of play, and it will be Tigers' ball. With 8:24 to go here, we've got Zach Smith now subbing back into the game for Kevin Morgan of the Panthers. DJ Leconce here being watched by Ondrik. Tobias now gets it back to Leconce. Leconce will try the long three, but doesn't go. Rebound picked up by Smith. As Smith works the ball over to Ondrik. Ondrik being watched there nicely by Stanley, but the ball comes down low, and it's Tobias taking it away. And Luke Tobias with a nice defensive play to pick off the pass. The Panthers are also being called for a foul here, so nonetheless, Tigers will regain possession with 7:54 here to go in the final quarter. And it's going to be Reese Meister to restart the play here. Here's Kieran Sheraton now. Sheraton working on Charlton. It's Reese Meister now working on two defenders, and his shot gets rejected there nicely. And it appeared that was Ondrik who got in there on the rejection, and he tries for the three-pointer. It's no good. It's an air ball there by Ondrik, as now Tigers will once again regain possession. And it's Meister now. Drop this to Tobias. Tobias being watched by Claire. Tobias as well to work the ball over to Sheraton. Sheraton gives it away now. Good defense here by the Panthers as it's Smith coming down the middle, and he drives it in. Well done by Smith to drive down the middle after making a nice defensive play. And he's got his team here now within 11 points. Still lots of time here for the Panthers to find their way back into this game. And another defensive play there by the Panthers. It was Liam Reed this time making the play. Here's Trent Charlton to Reed. Gets it over to Ondrik. Ondrik working on Sheraton. Ondrik going for the jumper, and it just rattles out there. And it's Dunkerley coming down with the rebound. He was fouled. And it appears we've got a timeout call here by the Vernon Panthers. So we'll step away here for just a few moments. It's the Tigers leading the Panthers by a score of 54 to 43 in this third place matchup in this 3A division at Langley Event Center, and we'll be back here in just a moment. welcome back to Langley Event Center as we just wrap up the timeout call here by the Vernon Panthers, as the Panthers trail the Tigers right now 54-43 as they try to work their way back into this game. They do have a lot of time on the clock with 6:32 to go here in the final frame. And it's going to be Derek Lee restarting the play here. It's Sheraton being watched closely by Ondrik, and it's given away there because of this high press. The Panthers, obviously wanting to come back into this game, are pressing the Tigers hard in their own end and have now come away with the ball. So great change of strategy here by the coach. As you can bet that Malcolm Reed is telling his players to try to apply pressure and get the ball back as quickly as they can and see if they can chip away here at this lead. Is a good deflection here by Leconce to make sure the pass never got across to Claire, and it's deflected out of play. And it's going to be Ondrik now restarting, gets it over to Smith. Smith setting up the screen here. Ondrik down low, nice play there. Liam Reed back up top. And here's a three-point try by Ondrik, doesn't go. Rebound picked up by Smith. And fake shot here by Reed. Reed cuts inside. And no basket as an offensive foul is being called on the Panthers. So no basket for the Panthers. And after Liam Reed did well to cut inside and get the layup in, but a personal foul being called on the Panthers, and it will be the Tigers taking over here now with 6:01 to go. As the play resets, it's Leconce being watched closely as we talk about the high press here by Ondrik, but the Tigers doing well to work the ball up the floor. And it's Kieran Sheraton being watched by Claire. Sheraton with a nice play down low, and it's tapped in nicely by DJ Leconce. What a play there with Sheraton and Leconce connecting. And here's Jimmy Atwell trying to go for the jumper, no good. And it's once again Leconce coming away with the rebound. What a half he's having, what a game he's having for the Tigers, as it's now Sheraton. Screen being set up there by Dunkerley, and now the ball's being worked around here up top. And here's a three-point try, and it's rattled in by Leconce. DJ Leconce with another three-pointer with just over 5 minutes to go here. And it's becoming more difficult and difficult here for the Panthers to try and chip away at this lead, but answering back right away is Isaiah Ondrik for the Panthers, getting a three-pointer of his own. So now, with the Tigers coming away with possession, it looks like another foul was called here. And so Zach Smith being called for a personal foul for the Panthers. And we've also got a sub here with Bradford coming into the game. And here's a three-point try. That was Derek Lee, didn't go. And the rebound is picked up here by the Vernon Panthers as it's Zach Smith now starting out. Gets it over to Ondrik. Ondrik for three, and it's good. Huge three-pointer there by Ondrik. As the Panthers try to stick with it here, cutting the lead to 10 points with 4.5 minutes to go now here in the fourth quarter. It's Dunkerley now taking the pass from Tobias. Lee tried to get it to go, but the ball rattles out, and now it's Ondrik now cutting inside. Nice pass over. It's Liam Reed now. And here's a three-pointer there. Isaiah Ondrik getting his team right back into the game. And it's a 7-point deficit now for the Panthers as they continue to chip away at this lead, but now it's Benny Bradford coming away with the ball and gets it to Kieran Sheraton up top. Down low to Bradford. Screen set up there nicely by Dunkerley. And here's Tobias. Tobias going in for the jumper. Can't get it to go. And the rebound now picked up by Ondrik. Screen set up by Smith. Ondrik now gets it down low to Reed. Down low to Jimmy Atwell. Atwell for three, and it's good! Atwell picking up a 3 for himself now, and the lead has been cut down to 4. As we see the Panthers here pressing the ball up the court here, doing well, but the ball comes to Tobias, who gets it to Kieran Sheraton. Kieran Sheraton tried to get it to Tobias here, but it appears that a foul was being called here. It looks like the foul will be on Smith again. And it looks like it's going to be Sheraton shooting from the line. With 3:01 remaining here in the fourth quarter, we got ourselves a game here. As that first shot, he gets it in off the glass. And the lead is now 6 for the Tigers. But the Panthers are still very much in this game. Have done a good job of cutting into the lead, gaining momentum now. Good job there by Ondrik. Ondrik being watched closely there by Stanley. Ondrik thought about shooting, now gets it across to Atwell. Atwell gets it inside to Smith. Smith, nice pass there. Reed tried to cut inside, thought about it. Dumps it off to Ondrik. 4 seconds for the shot clock. Tried to go for the 3, doesn't go, and now the rebound comes to LeConte, but it's taken away. Good job there by the Panthers. And it's 2+1. As Isaiah Ondrik gets the bucket and the foul, and he will shoot one more here from the line to try and make this a three-point game with 2:26 to go here in the final quarter. Ondrik completes the 3-point play now, so we are now in a 3-point situation, a 1-possession game for the Panthers now, as they've worked their way back from what was at one point a 14-point deficit and then a 16-point deficit. They have now made it a 3-point game. There's a turnover there by the Tigers. It'll be Panthers ball again, and the Panthers now have a chance to equalize here. It'll be Ondrik. Screen set up there by Reed. Ondrik cuts inside, watched by 2 guys there, but he gets the bucket. Well played there by Isaiah Ondrik to now get his team within 1. Sheraton now. Tobias being watched there by Atwell. LeConte. Sheraton to Stanley. Inside to Tobias, being watched there by Atwell. And Tobias tries to cut inside and has a ball knocked out of his hands. Comes right to Stanley, who gets the bucket. Stanley did well to follow up on the play and to drain a bucket there to get the 3-point lead back, but with a minute and a half to go, we still have a lot of time here for the Panthers to equalize this. It's Smith, cuts inside, tries to cut in for the lane, doesn't go, and the rebound comes to Lee. Gets it to Sheraton, to LeConte, across to Tobias. Tobias now directing traffic here. Tobias being watched by Ondrik. And it comes to the inside, back to Tobias. Tobias trying to get the 2 here, lays it in. And we're now in the last minute of play, and the Tigers have not given themselves a 5-point cushion. A timeout called here by the Panthers as they try to draw up a game plan here to see if they can try and tie up this game. The Panthers have done a wonderful job of fighting back here after trailing by 14 at the half. They trailed 34-20. They chipped away in the third quarter and now have, at one point, brought the game within 1 before the lead was extended again there by Stanley. We just saw him making a bucket. And we saw Tobias just laying it in just before the shot clock going off. So still ample time here for the Panthers to try and see if they can, at the very least, tie the game and get it to overtime. Obviously now different guys now contributing. We saw Charleston come down with some big shots, Isaiah Ondrik. We saw Jimmy Atwell drain a 3, so We'll see now. With possession now, the Panthers will have the ball here with 1 minute to go here in the fourth quarter. Let's see what they can do here. It'll be Ondrik starting out here with Smith. Smith being watched here by Sheraton. Drops it back to Ondrik. Screen set up here by Reed. There's a three-point try by Ondrik, but the rebound is failed there by Smith. Smith couldn't get the rebound to go, but does a very good job to get it back here for another three-point try. And that one rattles out from an attempt from Ondrik. And what do we have here? So Liam Stanley being assessed with a foul here, and we'll have a restart in play with 38.2 seconds to go now. 18 on the shot clock. It'll be Ondrik resetting. And it comes to Liam Reed down low. Here's Ondrik. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound and gets that one to go off the glass. And we're now back to a one possession game with 30.4 to go now. And it appears this time we have a timeout call. And this time it's the Tigers taking a timeout, as it's a 3-point lead now for the Tigers. The Panthers making a game of this. As we await the two teams to get restarted here, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll wrap up the last 30 seconds of this game, of the 3A third place game of the high school boys basketball championships. Welcome back to Langley Event Center as we're about to wrap up this 3A third place game between Sir Charles Tupper and Vernon. It is the Tigers leading the Panthers here by 3. And the Panthers have 32 seconds here to try and get the game into even terms, but right now it's the Tigers with the ball. And it will be Sheraton starting off play here, being watched by Atwell here. Sheraton with tries to get a bounce pass to Dunkerley, but the ball was knocked out of play by, appeared to be Atwell. And we got another restart here. And the Tigers have been called for a 5-second violation, as Sheraton was not able to make a play to one of his teammates. And now the Panthers have taken over possession here with 31.3 to go. Screen set up by Smith. And here's a 3-point try, and it's good! Isaiah Ondrik equalizes the game. What a huge play there by Ondrik with 25.4 seconds to go. And we are all tied up here at 65. What an unbelievable comeback here by the Panthers. As we mentioned before, they were trailing it by 14 at the half. At one point they were down by 16 and have now fought themselves all the way back to equalize this game at 65, setting up the potential for overtime. Mind you, we do have a lot of time on the clock still left. Tigers will have the ball with roughly 25 seconds to go here. As it was the Tigers calling a timeout here. They're going to try and make some adjustments and see if they can pull off a game-winning shot They will have 25 seconds to work with on the game clock to try and chew away and see if they can knock down a last-minute winner here. But what a play there by it was Zach Smith setting up the screen, and that gave room for Isaiah Ondrik to drain the three, and here we are. As the two teams here are just about to get set to resume play, 25.4 as you see on the game clock. The Tigers are now out of timeouts. The Panthers do have one left. And restarting play will be Liam Stanley here. And he'll see if he can try and set up a game-winning shot. The ball is now in play. Leconce being watched there by Ondrik. Leconce and Sheraton playing catch. Ball comes to Tobias. Screen set up there by Dunkerley, and now a three-point try, and it's good! DJ Leconce buries the three, what could potentially be the game-winning shot. It is the Panthers calling a timeout here, but DJ Leconce, how many times have we seen that in this game? Coming away with big shots. And time again on the defensive side, coming away with huge rebounds. So with just about 8 seconds to go here in the game, it is a 3-point lead now for the Tigers. But with the Vernon Panthers now using their final timeout, they'll try and draw up a play here and see if they can now equalize the game again. It's 68-65 as we're just about wrapped up here with the Panthers timeout. It will be the final one of the game, so we'll see here what they can draw up now. They did well to equalize the game, but then with DJ Leconce replying right back with a potential game-winning three-pointer, we'll see what Zach Smith and his team can come away with here, if they can push this into overtime, or will it be a third place set, a third place position here for the Tigers, as we're now down to 6.1, and the play was blown dead here. Not sure if there's a foul here called on the Tigers, but we're gonna get another chance here to restart. It's Smith to Ondrik. Ondrik being watched by Leconce. Ondrik, not much time here. The ball goes out of play, and it's going to be Tigers' ball. Ondrik was not able to make a play, and with 1 second to go in the fourth quarter, it looks like the Panthers will lock down the third place spot in the 3A tournament. And with Stanley now resetting play, it will be Sir Charles Tupper walking out of here, locking down third place in the tournament. Final score, Sir Charles Tupper 68, the Vernon Panthers 65. This is a well-played match by both teams. But DJ Leconce coming up with a big second half for his team. Drained the game-winning shot with a three-pointer after the Vernon Panthers fought so hard to come back into this game in the second half. Right after Isaiah Ondrik tied the game, but it's Sir Charles Tupper walking out of here with the third place position, and the Vernon Panthers will of course finish in the fourth place spot in the tournament. And we will await the post-game presentation here. It'll be the Tigers winning the bronze medal, so we will see the bronze medals being presented here momentarily. But we will get the announcement here for player of the game here momentarily. And not surprisingly, DJ Leconce will get presented with the player of the game honors. So kudos to him with having one heck of a game here to lead his team to a victory.
And now we'll ask the team captains from the Vernon Panthers to come forward and accept their team plaque.
And it will be Sergeant Claire, the team captain, accepting the team plaque for their 4th place finish in the tournament for the Vernon Panthers.
Now we'll ask the team captains to come forward from the Sir Charles Tupper Tigers to accept their team plaque.
And the team captains now stepping forward, Matthew Dunkerley and Stanley, to accept their team plaque for their 3rd place finish. And as we hear on the PA announcement, it will be the Sir Charles Tupper Tigers being awarded with their bronze medals. As we witness the Tigers receiving their bronze medals here, we will have the 3A final for you coming up later tonight. Of course, we will have the 5th and 6th matchups as well. That's going to be St. Thomas More Collegiate versus Pitt Meadows. That will be at 3 p.m. at Center Court. And then we'll have the final for you in the 3A division coming up tonight at 6 p.m. It'll be right here in the Arena Bowl at the Langley Event Center, and that is going to be G.W. Graham taking on Duchess Park. That should be a fun one to watch here tonight. As we wrap things up here for the morning game, once again it's the Sir Charles Tupper Tigers defeating the Vernon Panthers by a score of 68-65 in a thriller. Congratulations to the Tigers and the Panthers on their tournaments in what was a fantastic matchup here. And it was my pleasure calling the game here today. Sheldon Singh from the Langley Event Center. Hope you tune in tonight for the big final matchups at 6 p.m. Thank you for watching from the Langley Event Center. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.
Good morning and welcome to the Langley Event Center for the BC Boys 2A third place game here on TFSETV.ca. I'm Max Sussman. Joining me in a moment is Zach Griffin. Zach, a matchup of perennial Vancouver Island Titans in Brentwood College and the Lambert Park Lions. Brentwood won this tournament 2 years ago. We're back-to-back finalists.
Back-to-back champions, even.
Correct. No, they lost the same night as the first year.
No, they beat Smoo. That was the Brennan Sullivan Dagger, and then they beat King George the next year.
Right.
History, Max.
History. The Brendan Sullivan era for Brentwood was pretty good. Lambert Park with it into the corner. Looked for Corbin Scott to put up numbers. He led the island in scoring. There's Scott. Looking high-low, couldn't find Tane Clegg. We got some names in this one, Zach. Just some good names. I'm a fan of Fury Kelly. Juan Navarro leads this Brentwood team. It's Jack Napier Ganley. Here's Kelly. Now Shaw Blaisdell kicks off for Navarro. Navarro raises up at the free throw line, draws the foul. That'll be on Dylan Brown, his first.
And I'm really interested to see the kind of intensity and effort that these teams give out. You know, the third place game is always a bit of a strange one just because these players have gone so far into the tournament. They've played pretty much the marquee matchup from the first day. They win and they get a high-profile game. The next day, they win. They get almost the highest profile game in the semifinals, and now they go from playing at nighttime with the crowd to kind of in the early morning, following a tough loss to kind of end your season, but not at the same time. So I'm interested to see. It's always a question, what team can show up earliest and just kind of have that surge at the beginning of the game. And also these third place games are where individuals can just decide to, you know what, I'm going out in a blaze of glory.
Couple of missed shots back to back. The players who seem to do the best in these third place games are the ones who just love playing basketball because there's not a lot of motivation. If you lose in the semis, as you said, you probably don't care if you get third or fourth place, but these are the games where you see crazy stuff happen, like Nate Volstadt with like a 72-point game in a loser's bracket.
Miguel Tomley going on for 63, I believe is what it was.
Exactly. Just players who just love to ball. They're always down to, like, they're getting some fun run in.
I don't mean this disrespectfully, but Mark Trazzolini was the all third place game captain. He would just ball out every single time. Yeah, those Van College teams just couldn't figure out a way of getting to the finals. But then they had Traz in the third place game, and all of a sudden he just busted out threes. I'm like, all right, what are we going to do?
Napier Ganley up top for Watt. Now Navarro swings it. Good ball movement as usual for Brentwood under Blake Gage. Here comes Lambert Park. And a foul called on Brentwood. 3-0, the Brentwood lead. That's one on Navarro. First free throw is good for Tane Clegg. That's a name you gotta say both names, for sure. Tane Clegg hits the second one, it's 3-2. And Zach, we've seen a lot of this Brentwood team, this system under Gage, obviously entirely new players, but what can we expect to see from this college squad?
This is, oh my goodness.
Good finishes by Shaw Blaisdell, clearly.
That's one of the things you can expect, clearly. But one of the staple marks is this is a team that's extremely well coached and prepared for all kinds of situations. We saw them a few years ago when they played King George, and what we had seen to be one of the most daunting 2-3 zones we had ever seen. They had such length and athleticism and quickness, and they played that zone off the floor to the point where all of a sudden King George just had to play man. They just kind of ran them off the floor. They've had such great defenders over their years. Bruno Chan, back-to-back defensive player of the tournament. Like, this is just a team that knows how to defend. They know how to run an offense, and almost everyone has the ability to shoot.
Just Juan Navarro kind of slotting into that Bruno Chan role. They'll kind of point forward, and he's averaging 3 steals a game, 9 rebounds, 13 points. Just filling up the stat sheet. Bruno Chan wasn't going to drop 40 on your head, but he would dominate the games in other ways.
But he was going to make sure the guy who could drop 40 on your team dropped 10.
Yeah, like maybe 15 at best. Navarro closing out on the 3 there, no good from Cormac Brown. Offensive board. Scott couldn't finish. They'll get another shot off. Brown misses again. Can they get a rebound? Navarro does. Ahead to Blaisdell. Blaisdell into the chest of the defense. And that's a charge. Well drawn by Nate Crust.
Yeah, and an interesting sequence there. Lambrick Park had about 4 opportunities. That was something during their title runs, Brentwood. They had players like Oluwatunbasoon who could lock down the paint and rebound. A much smaller team than what you're accustomed to seeing. There's usually that one dominant big on that Brentwood team around players like Brennan Sullivan and Bruno Chan.
Just into the game is Ifeanyi Ayajuno with the steal. And the one-man breakout to the rack. Tough layup. And a foul called. Justin Watt drew it. 6'6", 12th grader. That 2 years ago, the team that won the title, the second one, it was just full of defensive stars around Brendan Sullivan at the point.
That team could have been one of the better teams in the Quad A.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, draw that year.
Who won the Quad A that season?
I think that was the Burnaby South year. Yeah, that was Burnaby South that year.
I don't know how they would have dealt with Sasha Vujacic in 10th grade, but would have been interesting to see. Second free throw from Watt's good.
Well, that was a talk around everyone around the tournament saying this team, the Brentwood at that a few years ago, was easily the best team and could have given AAA. That was the South Cam team that beat Burn Creek in the finals.
That's often the case. Charles Hayes, I have no doubt, could have won any of these 4 tournaments last year with Liam McChesney, arguably the best player we've seen this decade out of BC. I don't know when Kelly graduated. Kelly Olynyk graduated.
2009.
There you go. I nailed it. It's 11-4. Brentwood the lead. Coben Scott swings it around. It finds its way to Cormac Brown. Back up top. 3-ball Gage. No. Sorry, Clegg, rather. And it'll be out of bounds Lambrick Park basketball as Mikhail Bondarev checks in, along with Dylan Gage, 6'3", 9th grader. I'm told he's got a real funky game.
But yeah, already playing minutes at this kind of a tournament in 9th grade. You're going to get ready to hear the name Dylan Gage a lot during the next coming years.
For the next 3 years, for sure. Bondarev driving baseline, kicks it out. Dylan Brown's 3 is good.
Yeah, and Dahlstrom basically dared him to take that shot. He closed out, but gave him a lot of separation. He hesitated, but made him pay.
They find Olin Dahlstrom off the window. 6'4", 11th grader. Brentwood, only 4 seniors on this team. Navarro and Watt, the only 2 that play big minutes.
You know they'll be back.
This is exactly like that first title team they had, where it's like, oh, they're all 11th and 10th graders.
They're going to be back next year.
Fun.
Here we go.
Here's Gage. Guarded by Mikhail Bondarev. .13 on the shot clock. They'll find Ayajuno. Navarro, jab step, gets into the paint. Navarro, floater, yes, and the whistle. Juan Navarro with a 3-point play opportunity here. Lambrick Park's come back in the second half of this first quarter.
Much like they did in the championship game, well, on the reverse end, These two teams, do you think they're sick of playing each other at this point?
Just all the time.
Just all the time. They played each other in the championship final on the island. In that game, yeah, Lambrick Park had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter before Brentwood managed to pull away at the end.
Lambrick Park 29-7. I believe the 1 seed of that tournament. Brentwood 20-7 on the season. Here's Bondarev to Scott. Hoban Scott, offensive foul on the stiff arm. And a sub here for Lambrick Park, Crust back in. Scott will come out.
It is weird, though, seeing Lambrick Park without one of the Summers twins. Well, without the Summers twins.
Yeah, or one of them. Still Ed Summers coaching the squad. 3 ball. Napier Ganley hits it. 10-point lead, Brentwood, with 3:30 to go in the first. And you can tell a lot about teams in this third place game immediately in the first quarter by their energy level as Cormac Brown answers.
Very surprised, yeah. We saw it in the last game, just before this one. Charles Tupper managed to cling to that victory over Vernon. Vernon got off to a very slow start. They had lost a heartbreaker last night to GW Graham, and you can kind of see the deflated sense of energy. But then, you know, we talk about individuals showing out. Isaiah Ondrik just decided, okay, I'll make this a game, and almost managed to pull it off.
Ben Bonovsky checks in for College. And a foul on the floor. It'll be on Bonovsky. Brentwood College is the rare team that doesn't have a nickname. They're just Brentwood College.
The Brentwood Colleges?
Their logo is just the seal of the school.
You know who they are. That's the message.
That's true. It's a flex. It's kind of like the New York Mets, though. It's just like the New Yorkers, the Metropolitans.
Well, the Vancouver, like, other word for Canadians.
yeah.
The hockey team.
The Canucks. Brown lost the handle. Lost it again. 3 on the shot clock. Ian Juno right in his chest. He just throws it up. They'll let the continuation happen as Brentwood College gets the rebound. The defense from Afanya Ayajuno.
Ayajuno would be such a pest to have to play both sides of the basketball. He is so quick on his feet and so handsy, but not to the point of actually reaching. He just kind of pokes it in there, prods it in like a quick jab in a boxing match.
Navarro, the steal, goes end to end, but he can't get the finish. Dylan Gage's floater short. And Brentwood will reset. Gage firing the 3, no. Rebound, Nate Crust. Good sportsmanship behind the play with Brown helping up Navarro. And it'll be Brentwood ball out of bounds. As Jamie Tro checks in for College, along with Lorenzo Garcia. .149 to go here. 7-point lead for Brentwood College. You're watching the BC Boys 2A semifinals here on TFSE
Third
TV.
place game.
Third place game, sorry. What day is it?
It's Saturday.
I'm Max Sussman. He's Zach Griffin. We're happy to be spending the morning with you. It was a very NPR way of
I like that,
doing
yeah.
basketball. Malcolm Brown in the corner, 3 ball, yes.
You felt like Mr. Rogers there.
We're happy to be here with you on this Saturday morning.
For some lovely basketball.
That's a tea drinking basketball broadcast if I ever heard it. All right, College with the ball. It's Ben Bonovsky. Lambrick's cut it to 4. It was as much as 10 earlier. No good on the drive for Tro. And Nate Crust will slow it up. Crust, good length on him for a gunner at 6'4". Layup is off by Tane Clegg.
Clegg was basically growing roots down low ever since they crossed half. He was all alone.
Garcia Couldn't hit the layup, pushing his crust. Crust lost it. It's off his leg.
This kind of sloppiness, though, is what you kind of expect in the morning.
Well, who like is used to playing basketball at 11:45 in the morning? Like, I don't even think the run at the YMCA starts until 3.
Yeah, no beer league would ever do that
No.
either.
Well, you wouldn't in high school either because you're in classes. It's just weird on the body. These games, this tournament, you play 4 games in 4 days, too. The steal by Brown right to the rack in the layup.
Yeah, it's only during those rare the tournaments you play in will you have like an afternoon game, and it's always on the Saturday. So it does come as a bit of a shock. And especially, yeah, as we said, like unless they played in the morning game the first day of the tournament, they were probably playing at least maybe like 1 o'clock would be the earliest they'd be playing.
At the buzzer, no good from, oh, what a tip-in. No good from Ben Banofsky as we take a break for the first. Brentwood did, by the way, play in an 8:30 game on Wednesday morning. 19-17, Brentwood College led by as many as 10. It's down to 2. Lambic Park trails. Back with the second quarter of the third place game in just a minute here on TFSETV.ca. Welcome back. Good morning. It's 19-17. Brentwood College leads Lambic Park here as we start the second quarter of the BC Boys AA third place game. Winner of this game will find themselves on the podium with King George and Charles Hayes in some order. This team will be third, though.
The winner of this team.
I'm Max Sussman. He's Zach Griffin.
This game.
You're watching TFSETV.ca. In college with Shaw. Blaisdell couldn't hit that floater. It was a sloppy first quarter, but the points came at somehow. Like there were some big made threes. A couple by this man, Malcolm Brown, who misses that one.
Yeah, sloppiness can lend itself to some offense, especially, you turn the ball over and you get running opportunities. Layups are usually a little bit easier to hit in the morning. Kind of surprising guys are hitting from the outside so early. That's when they say, like, you can shoot it in your sleep.
Especially them playing their first game in this Arena Bowl. It does have weird depth stuff behind the backboard.
Oh, when you go from, the south court, because the south court and center court are big, but they have the build of a high school gym that you're used to.
The wall behind the hoop.
A wall right behind you that you're used to practicing on. And even when you're playing, like, in the outdoor courts, they don't have the see-through backboards. So it's a bit of an adjustment as well. The depth perception kind of does mess with you a little bit. But yeah, they coming out in the morning, hitting on these hoops is not an easy proposition.
Ball out of bounds, last touched by Jamie Troe. Five-point lead, Brentwood. A minute into the second quarter. They'll find Tane Clegg right to the rack in the lefty finish.
The other thing that you have to factor in is, even though, you're coming off the disappointment of last night, ending your season with a victory feels a lot better than, okay, maybe you lose. Yeah, you lose in the finals, you finish second, cool. But just the idea of ending your season, no other sport gets a chance to do that. Only the winner of the championship gets, like when you get to the higher levels, because in the NCAA tournament, there is no other games once you're eliminated.
There's no consolation bracket. Same with U Sports.
Yeah, exactly. So once the ability, having the chance to end with these teams, with their players, your teammates who you've played years with, having a chance to just one last win,
it's good.
It's a nice little thing to add on to. Yeah, like we said, maybe the third place, fourth place thing doesn't really matter as much, but one more win with your team, That's something to play for.
It's almost like some kind of consolation. I think that's why they call it the consolation bracket. Navarro, great shoes, by the way, pink and black. Gorgeous. Tro lost it off his foot. And the near side judge disagrees. The far side judge agrees. I guess reverse that on your camera because your camera angle is reversed from my angle. The bald ref agreed with me. It's shaved. I'm not judging. And it will stay with Brentwood, overruled by the far side judge. Navarro couldn't make the catch. The steal, Bondarev right to the rack and the finish. And it's a 1-point game, Zach. Lambert Park, what have they changed after that first 5 minutes, besides just hitting some shots?
Hitting some shots. They're doing a much better job on the defensive end. The intensity has picked up a lot. Brentwood's trying to change things up with a 2-3 zone, and it's kind of messing them up a little bit on the offensive, like the half-court sets, but they are getting a lot of running opportunities.
Clegg blocked by Watt. Another shot blocked by Watt. Third opportunity for Clegg, though, is the charm. Third time's the charm.
They've had a number of offensive rebounding opportunities and chances at extra baskets. The finishes, though, have been a little bit few and far between, but they are starting to get those ones to drop, which is why that lead is slowly slipping.
Bondarev is fouled. And Lambert Park, worth noting, has done this kind of without anything from Colvin Scott. As the timeout is called by the Lions with 7:18 to go, down 1. It's a bit of a rest timeout, I'm thinking, because did they do anything weird there that would have warranted some coaching?
Yeah, well, you have to ask. The coaches usually, from an outside perspective, not really. But, we saw one time in the game before, Jeff Gourley, when he was up 16, called a timeout because someone didn't jump for a loose ball the way he wanted to. So we called a timeout, and then all of a sudden, the game got close again. But, yeah, a lot of times that's those little things that coaches have emphasized over the course of the season that we're not really privy to, and they see it the last game of the season. You never stop coaching. You never stop teaching. You never stop learning is the mentality. So that thing, remember I told you in September? Remember I said that thing about how you box out? You didn't do it there. That's why that timeout is called. And, yeah, it's not really an X's and O's thing. They don't even have they have the drawing board out, but maybe I think it's just about the rotations they're making. That last possession beforehand, it was a little bit of an easy layup. I think the defense was a little bit slow to send the help, so I think they're just kind of emphasizing that.
It was Colton McKee leading the huddle there. Lambert Park trying to find their way to their first lead of the game. Into the corner, Bondarev. Lost the dribble, gets it out to Brown. 3-ball, no good for Cormac Brown. Rebound out of bounds, last touched by Tane Clegg.
They also seemed like they took the time to draw like a little out of bounds play, like run the specific play they had practiced. They kind of got a quick glance at a look, but the defense of Brentwood closed that off immediately.
The offense of Brentwood has been a lot of just Shaw Blaisdell getting to the rim and hitting tough layups. Clegg kicks to the corner. 3-ball, Brown, no good. That's Dylan Brown, the elder Brown. Napier Ganley with the finish at the rim.
That was a real good find. It was a tough pass by Navarro. He saw a glimpse of an opening. But that pass, it was right on point. We had a really good angle of it. There was a couple of blue jerseys that he had to hit on the run to find his teammate cutting. And Napier Ganley with a tough finish.
College gets the takeaway. But Dahlstrom gave it right back. The layup for Bondarev.
Sometimes you don't get rewarded for your effort, Max. And hard work is all for naught.
Dahlstrom didn't want to roll around on the floor, so he just threw the ball up. Thought he could get it to Navarro. 3 ball. Fury Kelly, no. Rebound, Dahlstrom back up, in, and 1 for the big fella. Brentwood running this dribble handoff action between Navarro and Shaw Blaisdell. That it's more or less a pick and roll because Navarro's rolling after he makes the handoff.
Yeah, they're pretty much two sides of the same coin, a handoff and a pick at the top. You see a lot of it in the NBA, whether or not the guard is bringing it up, whether or not Draymond Green is bringing it up, and all of a sudden he hands off to Steph. You've seen that over the last 5 years plenty of times. But it creates the same kind of idea, a little bit of separation. There's a little bit of a rotation, and you have to kind of slide accordingly, and then passing lanes and shooting lanes open up.
Tobin Scott to the rim. The layup is in. College looking to push. Napier Ganley to Blaisdell to the rim and in.
Yeah, now it's just a case of you score, and all of a sudden you're the last ones back, and that's going to be a tough catch.
Tane Clegg had to battle with Dahlstrom, who's 4 inches taller than him. Navarro inside. Dahlstrom couldn't handle it. There goes Lambrick again. Nearly another turnover. Clegg made the catch this time, hits the layup.
They got lucky that time. 2 times they've tried that pass. Both times Brentwood hands have touched it first. They're getting really extending themselves. Oh, what a pass.
Wow, how did he fit that through the magic, the wizardry of Shaw Blaisdell? That phased through the body of two Lambrick Park defenders. You can't convince me otherwise.
We saw it happen. It was right in front of us. But yeah, he knew that he was going to be there. He knew where the help defense was going to come. But to kind of try to squeeze it between the 2 defenders, unreal.
Bondarev, 3 is more than 2, and now it's a tie game. Blaisdell feeling himself, goes right at Scott. Kicks out, what a pass by him again. Fury Kelly can't turn it into an assist. Clegg and Lambrick Park is getting whatever they want inside with really no bigs out there. It's just dribble penetration and opportunistic passing to cutters. Guys finding those soft open spaces, the giblets of the defense, and making them pay.
Yeah, you can tell that the pace of play, this is a bit of a contrast in styles. Brentwood, like we said, has always been a very methodical type of team. They know how to run their offense. It's been one of their strengths overall. They'll get out and run when they can, but they're really good. We talk about the dribble handoff. We talk about the cutting and everything. But Lambrick Park really wants to make this an up-tempo game. We've seen it now, how they've tried to go for the long ball a few times. They're getting out and sprinting when they get their turnovers. So they're really winning the pace battle, which is something that you see a lot in the college game. 2 teams with different contrasting styles. And right now, Lambrick Park, they're pushing it, and it's forcing Brentwood to try and keep up a little bit, but they really need to slow play down to Brentwood. That's more their style. Make sure they can get in and try and dump it off like we've seen to cutters, get it out to shooters, because we know this team can shoot.
Brentwood, almost the Princeton of British Columbia high school basketball. Like, they run this very effective Princeton-style offense. They play good D, and they're an elite private school.
Well, there you go.
Bam. Princeton has a mascot, though, at least, the Tigers. The Tigers.
That's a key distinction.
Oh, another phenomenal pass. This time to Blaisdell, the 2 point guards for Brentwood College, Gage and Blaisdell, just making some magic happen, finding angles that I'm not sure I could even see. I definitely didn't see the first one.
Yeah, well, that one was something else. But yeah, now this is just a kind of a clear out. But Brentwood, again, a very sound defensive team, getting out when they can and running. But when it's a half-court set, they really like their odds on both defense and offense.
Kelly is fouled by Cormac Brown. Just the speed of Jack Napier-Ganley and Shaw Blaisdell, it's just a 2-man fast break. If they want, they can just outrun Lambrick Park down the floor.
Oh, easily, yeah. And we've seen it after made baskets even, as that's the 3rd foul on Cormac Brown. But yeah, even after made baskets, if they feel like they can get it, they'll take it. Other than that, we saw that great play out of the timeout from Brentwood.
Well, the block by Scott. But a foul called on Mikhail Bondarev. Keegan Bondarev just checked in. There are 3 Bondarev brothers on this team. We didn't even notice Keegan before because he's not number 0 or 1.
Yeah, that kind of jumped off right away. But yeah, we're talking about how there's lack of Summers brothers, but there is, the Bondarev brothers. There must always be at least 2 of the same name on a team for Lambert Park.
Ball stolen by Kelly and out of bounds, last touched by Keegan Bondarev. Keegan, the younger Bondarev, 11th grade. Mikhail and Liam, both 12th graders. They want to post up Dylan Gage. Shades of Mark Jackson for the point guard. Just goes right to his spot, uses the backside, and finishes over the top. A long point guard, Dylan Gage. High hopes for him out of the Brentwood College brass.
Yeah, and if you can already develop a sort of semblance of a post game in the 9th grade, 6'3", you get the feeling with room to grow as well.
Yeah, he's gangly. Like he's got room to fill out. His feet still look big for his body, which is just like dogs, a pretty good sign that he's going to grow a bit more. And he's got ball skills. He's got guard skills. 9th grade, you could be 13, 14 years old, right? Am I right about that? Yeah, that sounds right.
I think so, yeah.
He could have 2 growth spurts left. He could end up 6'10". Like, you never know. A la Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly.
Or Liam McChesney, who I don't know that for a fact, but he definitely plays like he was, 6 feet tall 2 years ago. In a tough play for Coben Scott, who went down. No contact, just slipped. He looks like he's okay.
Yeah, it's
probably uncomfortable though.
Oh, for sure. The way his leg kind of folded up there looked like very good to see him get up right away, because that could have been pretty bad.
40-34, Brentwood leads. Napier Ganley trying to extend the lead. Now Blaisdell, ball fake, just gonna put it up inside. Shaw Blaisdell showing us all sorts of moves out of his bag of tricks.
And Brentwood, because of the defensive intensity, you will make mistakes against them. So you have to try your best. They're not like a Kelowna team where their entire defense is designed to make you make mistakes. They'll just take the mistakes when you make them.
And they switched to a 2-3 zone a few possessions ago. I think noticing Lambert Park is trying to go run, one-on-one or run 2-man games, which is just not how you can beat a 2-3 zone. 3-ball for Liam Bondarev is no good. All 3 Bondarevs in the game, along with Coben Scott and Tane Clegg. Napier Ganley makes it a 10-point game.
And right now the momentum has been wrestled away from Lambert Park. Brentwood's getting everything to fall, and Lambert is scrambling on offense. Not really sure a lot of times what they're doing, and the players are looking confused, and they're doing a lot of that.
Banofsky in for Brentwood College as Shaw Blaisdell sits down, up 10 with a minute to go here in the first half. Banofsky. And an offensive foul called on Olin Dahlstrom. That's first on Dahlstrom. Coming up next, King George, Charles Hayes next in this bracket at 3:30, I believe, or 3, one of the two.
I think it's 3:30.
Up next, the 1A championship game. I don't know who's in it though.
High Road versus Unity Christian.
1A, AKA the religious school bracket.
There was a few of them.
Plus the Milkamine. I think that's just a small public school. 20 seconds, shot clock is off. Gage can hold for the final shot for Brentwood College. Gage with 7. Dylan Gage lost the handle and turns it over. with one. Can they get a shot up? Clay flips it at the rim. No. Would have been good if it went, but it didn't. That's the end of the first half. Brentwood College leads 44-34, but it's been tied. Lambert Park's had a lead. This game still yet to be decided. Back with the second half in a few minutes here on TFSETV.ca. Welcome back as we start the third quarter here in the BC Boys 2A third place game. Brentwood College pulling away during that second quarter with a 63% field goal percentage as a team. And it was mostly Shaw, Blaisdell, Jack, Napier, Ganley, 17 and 11 respectively for Brentwood College. I'm Max Sussman. With me is Zach Griffin. You're watching here on TFSETV.ca. Zach, there's the dribble penetration of Napier, Ganley, and Shaw, Blaisdell. That was basically the entire offense, minus like 10 points for Brentwood College.
Are outplaying of Brentwood are outplaying Lambrick Park right now. We've seen the big difference in this game so far has been the 5 extra shots created off of turnovers. That has been mostly as a result of Lambrick Park putting the ball on the floor and just having it roll away from them. Those 5 points lead to fast break opportunities, and that's a 10-point difference. But man, Shaw Blaisdell, 9 of 13 for 19 points so far in this one. Crazy efficiency.
And it's all been at the rim as Blaisdell rips that rebound away from Clegg, keeps the dribble alive in traffic. Napier Ganley trying to full court bounce pass, and it's off Brentwood College. It's off the leg of Justin Watt. Crust can shoot it. So can Brown. He'll miss that one though, and it's rebounded by Napier Ganley. If Brentwood College can get Juan Navarro going, it's dang near over the way that Blaisdell and Napier Ganley are playing, and that's out of bounds off Brentwood. They've turned it over now 2 possessions in a row on errant but pretty looking passes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with a pretty looking pass is sometimes your teammate isn't expecting it. And that one was a perfectly thrown pass by Blaisdell, who's really starting to feel himself at the end of that the first half, and now the beginning of the third quarter.
Coben Scott trying to get him going. Only had 6 points in the first half. Scott to Brown rather up top. Rebound. Clegg had it. Watt ripped it away. Navarro to Blaisdell. Blaisdell crossover into the lane off the window. He's fouled.
Yeah, right now Blaisdell's just taking it upon himself. Brentwood is very adept, and we've seen them run their offensive sets, these play calls, to perfection at times in this game. But Blaisdell right now is just saying, it's okay, I'll take it from right now. He's just, any opportunity, he's got such a good first step that any kind of space, that crease that opens up, he's attacking and either finishing or dumping it off to teammates.
A good first step and a strong, solid handle as well. His ability to dribble in traffic. It's so nice for any team to have a guard, let alone 2 guards like Napier Ganley and Blaisdell, who can, when a play breaks down, just go get you a bucket. Yeah,
and a lot of times you see at this age players who sometime the handle or the mind can't keep up with the body, or vice versa sometimes. So it's very good to see Blaisdell, who can play so fast but seems so in control. He doesn't outplay to the point where he loses handle of the basketball. He knows where his teammates are. He's very well aware of what's going around him.
Oh, Clegg to the rim, no. Rebound out of bounds off Coben Scott. Mikhail Bondareff will check in. He's got 7 points on 60% shooting and 3 steals in the first half off the bench. Navarro swings it. Fury Kelly inside. His layup is good. And again, Brentwood College off the dribble to the rack. Crust ran off the 3-point line. Takes a tough 15-footer and missed everything.
Yeah, trying to contend that his hand was hit on the way up. The weird shooting motion kind of altered. Got some kind of piece. Someone got a piece on it.
Blaisdell likes his matchup with Coben Scott. He wants a clear out for a little pick and roll with Navarro. Blaisdell trying to split the double team, can't do it. Watt, they'll post up Navarro on Scott now. He'll kick out. Kelly, corner triple, yes.
And that's the kind of impact Navarro has. He's got such good size, and when he sits down on his defender's leg, you know he's going to get good positioning. You know he's going to get a good look, so you have to send the double and the kick out there. And that time it was Kelly who was wide open as a result.
3 ball, Scott, no. Coben Scott continues to struggle from the field. 3 of 10. Napier Ganley throws it off the window, a lot of contact, no whistle.
Yeah, he was trying to draw something, but that was playing a little bit out of control.
You know, I'm talking about out of control. Crust just kind of left the ball behind. Navarro couldn't make the catch. It's out of bounds off his hands. But an 18-point lead Brentwood has opened up here as they start this third quarter on an 8-0 run that's lasted 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Olin Dahlstrom checks into the game for Justin Watt. Dahlstrom 6 points on 3 shots in the first half. Scott the layup, yes.
And they made the good read. That time Napier Ganley was picking up in full court and he was denying the entry pass. So if that happens, logically, if what's in front of you is covered, then what's behind you is going to be wide open. So they just threw it over top. He made somebody miss. And as a result, he made the right move and finished.
Dylan Gage nearly turned it over for his 3rd turnover of the game. And now Blaisdell will turn it over. But they'll take it right back. Coben Scott got out of control. Here's Blaisdell. Blaisdell gets inside, stripped by Chris Brown. Dylan Brown, sorry. I don't even know where that came from. Cormick is the other Brown.
Been listening to Look At Me Now on your way to the arena today?
Blaisdell pulls up, 16-footer no. That's not his game. Pushing. Cormick Brown rather can't finish. And Brentwood back the other way, up 16. Blaisdell. Napier Ganley wants a screen. It doesn't come, so they'll switch it up. Gage up top to Blaisdell with Scott on him. Napier Ganley triggers the triple, no. Rebound Gage, no. Navarro's tip is no. A lot of no, as here comes Bondarev. Head fake, now the shot from Brown is good. And Lambert Park needed that.
They needed to score big time. And this is a team, they had attempted 15 threes in the first half. You said very modern basketball. They only hit 4, so you get the feeling this team, they have guys who are competent in shooting, just haven't been able to hit in the early going here. And if they can get going, all of a sudden that 13-point lead doesn't look so big.
Bondarev for Tane Clegg. Clegg lays it up and in. No, an offensive foul. And a play that could have cut the score to 11 for Lambert Park. Goes the other way. And as Ifani Juno checks in, we'll get a timeout from Brentwood as they've had a little bit of a rough couple sequences offensively. Blake Gage gonna reset his boys.
Yeah, after that 8-0 run, it's been stopped. It's been a quick 5-0 run from Lambert Park, and that's what basketball is. It's a game of runs, and usually the longest run is the one that ends up winning you a basketball game. So right now, Lambert is starting to respond. They've been hit, and in turn, they're starting to get it going. Their second half mojo is starting to run. And yeah, so they need a good play. That one was a little bit out of control from Clegg. Dahlstrom made the right play, but as soon as he made that turn, he kind of cut him off. So the shot wasn't going to have any space, so he just kind of had to use the elbow just to get out of here, which is usually an offensive foul.
13-point lead here for Brentwood College, in control for this entire game. Lambert Park's has led for 12 seconds. of this one. Brentwood College has led the rest of the way. And that was in the middle of the second quarter before Brentwood College went on that run to end it. That run that continued into this second quarter. Or the third quarter, rather. Another turnover created. Nope, that'll be off Lambert Park. Inbound, they'll throw it up top to Navarro. 16 on the shot clock. Here's Napier Ganley. Into the corner for Dylan Gage. Gage will post up for Navarro. Navarro, ball fake, gets inside, spins, tough shot, and he's fouled. Juan Navarro worked his way into a triple team, but found his way out to draw the whistle.
Yeah, the help came. He was trying to create any kind of separation, but yeah, the reason he couldn't was because Lamprecht was playing so close on him. They gave him, he's a player who averages 13 and 9 on the season, and you know that he's going to get his shot off, so they've seen enough of him that they're going to try and prevent that, but then that time they got him on the arm. That's going to be 4 fouls on Dylan Brown as well.
Dylan Brown has been efficient from the three-point line, 2 for 5 on the day. He'll come out. In for him, number 21, Terry Chen. It'll be Bondareff along with Cormac Brown, Coben Scott, Tane Clegg, and Terry Chen. And Napier Ganley took it away. Navarro seals his defender, can't get the finish. Dahlstrom puts it back up and in. Olin Dahlstrom, 8 points, 5 rebounds off the bench for the big fella.
But that was created off of Napier Ganley, who just stripped the ball handler from right behind. The tempo of Brentwood, even though we say they want to play a half-court pace, the way they play at that pace is so intense, and they never let off the gas pedal.
Second foul on Napier Ganley. So free throws for Clegg. Misses the first. "17-point lead, but we've seen Lambert Park close the gap quickly at times in this game, Zach. It was, for the most part, three-point shooting in that first quarter, though. If they can't find open shots against Brentwood, where they can barely get the ball up the court, it's going to be tough sledding.
Almost half their field goal attempts in that first half were threes, and that was a nice closeout there from Coben Scott. But like we said, a team that can get hot, that shoots, is never really truly out of a basketball game, but it just, at this point, it requires them to get hot. The more this league grows and the more they're anything going to the basket, the more they turn the ball over, the more they just need to start shooting to have any kind of chance in the latter stage of the game.
They'd like to get something out of their star, Coben Scott, who's been on the struggle bus all game. That foul.
The struggle bus.
The struggle bus, man. It's a real thing. That foul is on Cormac Brown. Navarro, tough take over Bondareff, no good. Here comes Lambert Park. For a second, it was a 5-on-4. Scott dribbled it off his foot. Thought he should have gotten a foul call there.
Man, Napier Ganley kind of fell down at his own free throw line, sprinted all the way down underneath the basket to take the charge before the ball could get there. Nice hustle from the 11th grader. He'll be back next year.
Between Napier Ganley and Shaw Blaisdell, who will also be back next year, they got a lot of speed in that backcourt.
They'll cause teams problems next year.
Speed kills and absolute speed kills, absolutely.
It's a lot of speed.
That was I mixed two sayings. It's the absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
No, I got that.
You got it? You
I got it. I'm with you.
It's early here. Gage, wide open triple, way short. Navarro, though, Call it a pass. Dahlstrom. And Olin Dahlstrom has 10 points without having a single play run for him in this game.
And they're all within 2 feet of the basket, basically. He's just always been in the right place at the right time. Right now, all those little bounces, like you saw that one, the air ball three, Navarro losing the handle, but somehow just goes right to Dahlstrom. Those kind of plays just seem to be going Brentwood's favor right now. And there's 2 more for the guy.
Just offensive boards and loose balls. And Olin Dahlstrom. A quick 4 points for Brentwood, and this one's starting to get out of hand. 2:23 to go in the third. It's 60-40, Zach. I mean, is it worth trying to do anything to stop Dahlstrom? They're not really running anything for him. He's just winning battles.
He's just, exactly. So boxing out would be a good place to start, but you don't really have to really say we need to run like some kind of set to try. We need to make sure we're sending triple teams over to that guy. He's beating us. It's just, as a result, he's in the right place at the right time. And that's just basically effort. So the effort level has to get up there to just get to the right spot and be there to at least challenge Dahlstrom, because everything has just been wide open when he gets it. He's all alone, and it's basically been off offensive rebounds. It's been on bad bounces. You can't really change and game plan bad bounces, and right now things are going the way of Brentwood. However, things do seem to go your way when the higher the intensity is. The more effort there is, it feels like bounces start going your way, and right now it's going all Brentwood's favor because they're really outpacing and out-pressuring Lambrick Park.
Brentwood will leave the same lineup out there. Gage, Dahlstrom, Navarro, Napier, Ganley, and Ayaduno. Small change for Lambrick Park. Keegan Bondareff is in, along with McHale. Coben Scott, Terry Chen, and Tane Clegg as they break the press with relative ease. Brentwood back into a 2-3 zone. They'll kick it out. Terry Chen, head fake, back. Keegan Bondareff, line drive three, no. Rebound, Navarro. High off the window. Dahlstrom lost the handle, but a kick out to Napier Ganley. Baseline layup is good.
Yeah, that time the help defense didn't rotate. They were so preoccupied with Dahlstrom on the kick out. You have to be ready to help in your down low. And that time, once they beat them, he beat his man Clegg on the outside. The big has to step up just to force the kick out. No one was there, so it's an easy layup as a result.
Scott, Clegg, layup, no. Rebound, Navarro. Gage, cross court to Napier Ganley. As this offense keeps moving, they want to post up Dahlstrom. He's fronted, makes the catch, tough catch. The finish was easy though. They finally have run a play for Olin Dahlstrom. He's got 12.
Yeah, that is the first time. It was going to close to 5 seconds. But that time they decided we're going to try and front him. Well, in that case, if no one's going to be behind to make that pass difficult, then you're putting your defender on an island, and he's got all the room because he's so far out that makes that pass a little bit easier, being so far from the basket.
Clegg into the teeth of this zone, gets his own rebound. It's blocked by Navarro, but a foul is going to be called on Juan Navarro. And if you're going to front the post, you have to have help defense coming from the backside.
You have to have your defense head on a swivel, ready to help, because the easy way to beat it, like I said, when he's so far out, is just kind of like going long. You throw it well over their head, and you have a little bit of room for it just to drop down into the basket, so you have time to catch it and go up with it. The way you take that away is having your help defender, who is more than one pass away, kind of cheat over a little bit to kind of act as a little bit of a pincer to dissuade the offensive player from throwing it in the first place.
Final minute of play here in the third. Third place game in the BC Boys AA Provincial Championship bracket. Gage gets inside, floater is blocked, and it's out of bounds off the block from Lambrick Park. Winner of this will join Charles Hayes and King George on the podium. So there is something to play for here. It's just a letdown for two teams that wanted to be in the finals. Garcia can't finish. Ayaduno can't finish. And now Bondareff the rebound, and Lambrick Park can hold for the final shot. Bondarev doubled. Garcia nearly took it away. Clegg into Iajuno. They'll just go right up. Blocked, but a foul is going to be called on Ben Banovsky.
Not a pretty offensive possession, but you like the result. Yeah, Keegan Bondarev just got stymied there. They were swarming all over the place. Managed to find the outlet pass, and Clegg making something happen. He's been battling the latter stages of this quarter real hard down low with Dahlstrom and with Navarro, who are now sitting. So he's finally getting rewarded going to the free throw line over the last few possessions.
Inbound comes to Ben Banovsky with 7. Banovsky gets it to Gage. Gage, no, he couldn't handle the pass. And they got 3 seconds, does Lambrick Park, to try to cut it to under 20. They get it in to Bondarev. Bondarev to the lane with 1. No, and that'll do it for the third quarter. 64-44. Brentwood College puts up a 20-10 third quarter, and they're starting to pull away. Fourth quarter on the way here on TFSETV.ca. Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter here, Lambrick Park. The 6 seed trails the 4 seed Brentwood College team by 20. Your BC Boys 2A rather, third place game.
Let's go team.
I mixed it up. Let's go the team. Brentwood College trying to medal for what feels like the 5th year in a row.
The millionth year in a row, maybe?
It's at worst 3 of the last 4 years if they can win this game. That ball out of bounds, last touched by Brentwood. Cormac Brown will inbound the ball for Lambrick Park. Brown. The foul called on the other end on Cormac Brown. With the exception of Fianyi Ayajuno, Brentwood going with all 12th graders here. Lorenzo Garcia.
Yeah, Brentwood's got an extremely young team. The bulk of their rotation will be back next year, but yeah, it's some of these, the coaches, how you want to honor your graduating players as their last game of the season. You want to give them that last chance to come off the floor and get that applause. So play them at the beginning of the fourth quarter, so when you're up 20, so you can take them off. It's kind of the idea I think that Blake Gage is going to go with. Different coaches have different philosophies. Some like to have their seniors end on the horn.
Some will start them.
Yep. Different philosophies.